Now, the United States Embassy in Accra says the number of Ghanaians seeking to enter America has shot up significantly and is outstripping the increased resources to process visa applications speedily. Although the U.S. mission concedes the movement of people between the two nations will enhance its people-to-people relations with Ghana, there is an emerging constraint where the demand for U.S. visas has tripled since 2019, hence creating a backlog. The remarks are coming at a time when the U.S. Embassy plans to migrate all visa applications onto a new system starting August 16. In view of this, the new visa application will be made until the 26th of August when the new framework is ready. Elliot Fetik is the American Consul General in Ghana. He has been explaining arrangement for the new visa system while revealing that Ghanaians seeking to enter has surged significantly.
There's always a lot of interest in visas, and especially in our non-immigrant visa system. And we want to make sure that our visa applicants and the Ghanaian public generally is aware of this change and what they may need to do, if anything. The most important point to make is that we are going to be moving to a new visa services provider on August 26, 2024. However, and this is probably the most important thing I'm going to say today, all existing non-immigrant visa interview appointments remain valid. That means that if you currently have a visa interview scheduled with the U.S. Embassy, it is still valid, and you should plan on attending the appointment on the interview on the day of the appointment. The first thing is that on August 16th, the old appointment system website will no longer be accessible for changes. What that means is that starting on the morning of August 16th, you will no longer be able to schedule new appointments. You will not be able to make visa fee payments, and customer service will not be accessible. In addition, if you have made a request for an emergency or expedited appointment and have not received a response by August 16th, you will need to resubmit your request in the new scheduling system on or after August 26th. So, as I said, this is important. During the period between August 16th and August 26th, you will not be able to make new visa appointments, and you will not be able to cancel or reschedule any existing appointments. But if you have an appointment already scheduled during that time, it is still valid. We will still interview you, and you should still come to the embassy for your appointment. Well, in a certain sense, the demand is a very, very flattering for the United States. I mean, a lot of Ghanaians want to go to the United States to visit temporarily. And, we're seeing it's not just non-immigrant visas. On the immigrant visa side, diversity visa, again, the numbers are through the roof. And we want to encourage as much legitimate travel between the United States and Ghana as we can. It is incredibly important to us. We want to encourage qualified students to study in the United States, and that's why, as I said, that's why we've brought in more resources to doing interviews. Unfortunately, the demand is outstripping even the increased resources we've had. And we're going to continue to increasing our resources, looking at ways to be more efficient, encouraging people to use systems like, getting renewal, the interview waiver process when they qualify.
So why are some Ghanaians desperate to get American visas? Joy News has been to the street of Accra to gauge the views of Ghanaians.
You look at the economic indicators, you can see that the economy is not performing well, the dollar to CD rate and other stuffs. So there's no opportunity in the country in terms of employment. So when you have a place you can get employment or a greener pasture, I think everyone will love a greener pasture and everyone will take the opportunity. As time goes on, we are aging and we fade out in opportunity. So if we have a place we can grab opportunity, why not?
Because of the hardship in the country, I can say that. Yeah, you see, the economy is very hard. That's why most of the youth are leaving. Most of the youth, let me use that way. Most of the youth are thinking that the government are not helping them. That's why most of people are wanting to leave. That's why. think so. Yeah.
I think it has to do with the high inflation rate. You know, businesses are collapsing, and it all has to do with the inflation rate. You bring a capital into the country to start a business, and inflation is way above what you expected. What would you do? So it has to do also with the inflation rates. Yeah, fluctuating here and there is a mess.
And if you're looking for employment opportunity, even within the last 5 years, the opportunities have declined. And all of the youth that are graduating from college, those who are nursing and engineering degrees, medical degrees, they can't find a job, and you can't blame them. You got to go to a place and an environment that's going to be supportive and where you can make a living. If you want to have a family and move through life like people normally do, unfortunately, this isn't fertile ground to do it. And so I can't blame the youth, and it's understandable that it would be 300%, if not higher, and it's probably going to continue to go up.
Well, I think it's because of unemployment rise in the country. We also know things are not going well economically in the country, and so this might be as a result of the reasons why many of the youth are trying to move out of the country to seek greener pastures.
Well, Professor Mary Boatuma Setrana is the director of the Center for Migration Studies at the University of Ghana, and she joins us live. Grateful for your time, Prof. What do you think is accounting for the surge in applications for the U.S. That we are seeing?
Yeah, thank you very much, and good evening to your cherished listeners. Yeah, I followed the conversation, why the search for the increasing numbers of applications to the US and maybe broadly to other places. I mean, it's always been the major reasons are economic high wages and better opportunities that people are seeking elsewhere. And so broadly, we classify it as economic factors, but we have also noticed from our various researches that we do that people don't migrate for a particular reason.
Right.
So while economic reason is the major reason, there are also other factors, which from the interviews, you have seen that poor working conditions, hardships, maybe pressure from family, and the expectation towards the youth. I mean, in our culture, the youth is a security. So while you're going to school, your parents are thinking you are coming back to take care of them. And that hasn't changed, although a lot of things are changing. And so you're expected to come back to support your family after school. And so if you don't find employment, what do? You have to find ways of surviving. And then if you look at the examples that the doctors gave and from the medical field, yes, people are home, they are not finding jobs. And for a long time, there's no clearance for them to work. Obviously, man must survive. And so in a way to survive, you look for opportunities elsewhere, not only in Ghana, but wherever it is for you to make sure that you keep your family and yourself and your well-being intact.
All right. We know Ghana is one of the countries with significant amount of remittances. So is it all that bad when more Ghanaians seek greener pastures in bigger economies such as the U.S.?
No, I mean, actually, US, UK are major destinations. I mean, for several reasons. One, UK because of the colonial ties and common language in terms of official language, English, and even educational system similarity. So, I mean, you can easily enter into those fields. Again, when it comes to the medical field, the writing of the exams that allows you to enter into the system, not many countries do that. For instance, some other countries in Europe, you can't say that you are writing exams here, you go for verification and you're allowed to go. But at least US, UK allows that. But coming back to your question of why people are still moving, I think it's a major destination country, and also because of the reasons I've given, but it's also because of the high wages over there.
Okay.
People are expecting to have better working conditions. And as it was said, I mean, you are working, but then you don't have access to the instruments and equipment that can help you better work. And these are frustrating to people. And so you need to find better ways of exercising the expertise you have.
Briefly, 30 seconds, what do we need to do as a nation to curb this?
Well, as a nation, I mean, we are talking about brain drain, but I have a different view when it comes to brain drain. When people are at home and don't have jobs and they are seeking to have better lives, do we call it brain drain? I think what is worrying is the number of specialists who are leaving. But the young doctors who are at home, the nurses who are at home don't have clearance. Do we still call it as that? I think what government should do, I mean, movement from where I sit as a migration expert, movement is everybody's choice. You have the right to move. But perhaps what we have to do, now they are moving anyway. So why don't we enter into some agreements with these countries they are moving to? So these days we are talking about transnational skills partnership. How do we come into agreement with major destinations like UK, US? Yes, you can come for us. We are training. We can't employ all of them. So you help us build the training from scratch. You can take what you have to take, and we maintain the ones that can support us back home. And we call that triple win. In that case, we benefit, the migrant benefit, households benefit, and the nation also benefits.
Great. Grateful for your time, Prof, for sharing your thoughts with us on this matter.